Some children alive today could live to see the year 2100, and that matters because we've spent decades talking about 2100 like it's someone else's problem. I used to hear that year and picture flying cars and floating cities, some future filled with people who aren't even here yet. Except they're already here. A child born today will only be 74 in 2100. The future we're constantly being warned about is already somebody's lifetime. I've been hearing about climate change since I was a kid. I remember hearing what could happen by 2050 or 2100 if we didn't change what we were doing. And at 15 years old, those numbers meant absolutely nothing to me. 2050 sounded forever away, and 2100 wasn't even worth thinking about. And then 20 years just went by. I'm still hearing the warnings, except now some of the numbers are getting really hard for me to ignore. Since 1970, monitored wildlife populations have declined by an average of more than 70%. Humans and the animals we've chosen to raise now make up most of the mammal biomass on Earth. Even all the chickens and other poultry we bred for ourselves outweigh all the wild birds on the planet several times. Think about how weird that is. We haven't run out of animals, we've replaced a huge amount of wild nature with animals we want. And that's where this gets complicated for me, because I don't think what most people are walking around hoping we destroy the planet. I don't think the average person wants another rainforest cut down or another animal to go extinct. But we all want something. We want affordable food, we need places to live, we want new technology. We like getting something delivered to our house tomorrow instead of next week. We want air conditioning when it's hot and heat when it's cold. And when somebody invents something that makes our lives easier, very few of us are asking what had to happen somewhere else on Earth to make it possible. I'm included in that. I'm sitting here talking about this while using technology that required resources to manufacture, electricity to charge, and an enormous infrastructure behind it just so I can make this video. And we're still building more. AI is helping push electricity demand from data centers toward more than double today's level by 2030. The human population is expected to add roughly another 2 billion people before it peaks later this century. There's people who are going to need homes and food and energy and transportation too, and they should have those. That's what makes this so fucking difficult. We're trying to figure out how to ask more from the planet while somehow taking less from it, and we've known about this for decades. That's the problem that bothers me. Because you can ask almost anybody if they care about the environment, and they'll probably say yes. Nobody wants to watch an orangutan lose its habitat. Nobody is rooting for coral reefs to disappear. But then you ask people to actually give something up today because it might make somebody else's life better 50 years from now, and suddenly it gets harder. Because the sacrifice happens now. The consequence happens later. And humans are really fucking good at caring about tomorrow until tomorrow sends us the bill today. I don't know what happens from here. Maybe cleaner energy changes everything. Maybe technology gets dramatically better. Maybe governments finally make decisions that move this in the completely different direction. Maybe 70 years from now, people look back at this period and realize this is when we actually started figuring it out. I genuinely hope that's what happens. Because something changed for me when I first started hearing those warnings. I have kids now. And when somebody says 2100, I don't picture flying cars anymore. I think about them. Because if they're fortunate enough to live long lives, this century isn't some distant future to them. It's their lifetime. And they don't inherit what we wanted to happen. They inherit what actually happened. It won't matter how badly we wanted forests to survive. They'll live with however much forest is left. All the conversations we're having about extinction won't bring back whatever species are gone. And every promise we make about protecting the climate eventually becomes irrelevant. Because they inherit the climate. That's why I can't hear by the year 2100 the same way anymore. We talk about it like whatever happens will eventually become someone else's problem. Like some distant generation is going to show up one day and deal with whatever we left them. But they're already here. Some of the kids left to deal with those problems we're creating today are the kids you're tucking into bed tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. I got a little worked up there at the end, but I genuinely care about the subject. So thanks for being here. Thanks for your time. I'll see you on